now time. Hello, everyone. My name is Jesse Bowen, and welcome to the Become an Author podcast. Today is a very exciting day. I have my co-host here with me. We've got a special guest. She's a new author. She's doing her launch today. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Suki.
How are you,
How
Jesse?
you guys doing? Are you excited?
I am super excited.
I'm giddy.
This is always the great thing about launch day. And, Natalie, I know that you've been working behind the scenes. And our goal at Elite Publications is not to just publish a book and say, okay, see you, thank you, goodbye. It's all over. We're now through, but is to continue process, because authors that want to become the best authors they can possibly be, write material to make a difference in the world. Our goal is to be able to support that. So Natalie, I'm going to turn it over to you and sort of talk about what's happening today. And then I'm going to let you introduce Suki, and then I'll follow. I got some big time questions for it here because everybody wants to know that experience of becoming an author, but not just an author, but an Amazon #1 best-selling author and international best-selling author. So it's not just a book release. And I know that Suki's got a lot of things she's got planned for today. So this is going to be a very exciting day. So everyone, when you are publishing a book, becoming an author, your family should be excited, your friends should be excited. So this is a really big day. It's not just another day. So Natalie, I'm going to swing it over to you.
Absolutely. It is an exciting day because of a few things. First of all, Suki is such an amazing lady. I haven't known her for too long, but she came into our life through a mutual friend. And I loved her right away. But then when I found out she was from Toronto, Ontario, and a Canadian, I loved her even more. So it's an honor that we are part of this book launch for Suki. Suki was born in Toronto and Ontario, and then spent 35 years in the informational technology industry as a program manager. And I'm going to let Suki kind of give the rest of the story, and then we'll get into her author journey. But Suki has some big events coming up tonight, and I will be attending, and I'm so super excited. So Suki, give us a quick overview and then tell us about your book.
Oh, I'm so happy to, Natalie. Thank you and Jesse for having me on this morning. I am very excited. And, us nice Canadian girls, we have to stick together.
That's right.
I left Canada when I was 10, but I still claim it because most of my family is still up there, and we go really often. So as you said, I was 35 plus years in the information technology sphere. I started out as a programmer way back in the day, and eventually got to the point where I was running really big projects. And I was kind of a serial entrepreneur along the way. I had side gigs and that sort of thing. And then when I was 59, I had an opportunity. We sold a vacation home that paid for our home in Phoenix, where I live now with my husband. And I had the opportunity to retire. And a number of my friends are a few years older than me, and they were retired and happy and traveling and, doing whatever they wanted to do. And I did that for a year. I did like everything possible. And I actually wore myself out. But at the end of that year, when I was 60, I'm like, I'm healthy. I probably have 30 years in front of me. That's a really long time. And what am I going to do with it? I wanted to do something purposeful. My tech job had turned into something that wasn't really feeding me, wasn't really serving me very well, emotionally and I guess psychologically. And so I thought, what can I do? And I decided I am not done. Yeah. I pivoted.
That is so common.
It is common. I have a friend, Riley Moynes, who wrote a book called The 4 Stages of Retirement. He talks about that very thing. He's got a TED Talk too, that just hit his international TED Talk. So I go look for it. But the new retirement really has people looking for purpose and meaning and joy. And I decided that, I had done have done a lot of personal development, and I really wanted to share what I had learned, because this business, Courage Rises, I'm a coach, a mentor, and it really pops me out of bed in the morning, which is something my tech job never did. And
Right.
so I'm so excited, and I want to share it with others. And that was kind of the genesis of the book.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What I loved when I was going through the book is we have very similar journeys where something happened and then it switched your mindset, and now you're living your passion and living life to the fullest.
Yes. Yes, I know about your incident. And I think a lot of people are experiencing that because of COVID. It was such a weird place to be for everybody in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's get into your author journey. First of all, you're 63 years old. You're supposed to be slowing down at this age. And as you shared, you're just ramping up. Share with us, was there a pivotal moment, or was there one time that you're just like, I'm not done and I'm going to recreate? I know you've touched on it a little bit in your intro.
Right. Yeah. So when I retired, I had a side gig, multi-level marketing, direct sales thing. And I had kind of exhausted my friends and family. They had bought everything and come to all my parties. And I thought, well, maybe this is something I can throw myself behind. But I knew that I had to show up differently if I was going to, be able to be attractive to strangers.
Sure.
I was going to have to meet more people. I was going to have to book parties with them, add people to my team. And I joined a networking group called 7 Networking, and I met some amazing people. And after 6 months, one of the amazing people became my coach. Her name is Kenyatta Turner, and she had a mastermind. And that's just the concept that 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads are better than one. And anyway, we were talking about entrepreneurship, and we did this exercise, and I call it "What the hell's so great about you?" But it's really what makes you unique. And I kept writing down all these words, and the one that kept jumping off the page was the word courage. And so this was, I think, December of 2018, and a friend had given me a gift when I was 23. I had broken a marriage engagement, and she said, "Oh, that was really brave." And I hadn't thought about that. For me, it was just like self-preservation, right? But her giving it a name made me believe that, after I thought about it, that I really was courageous. I was brave. And so I slowly kind of integrated that into who I believed I was. And so when, fast forward, I'm 60 years old doing this exercise, and courage is jumping off the page. And one of the other things that Kenyatta does, which I also do now, is I'm a behavioral superpowers coach. And my behavioral superpowers are, I'm a take charge, spontaneous influencer. And an influencer is not like your
right.
Your Instagram influencer.
Instagram, right.
Right. It's just about, I'm comfortable getting in front of people. I can be persuasive, all of these things. And so we were talking about this word courage, and we talked about how can we integrate the influencer in you with the courage part of you. And I eventually said, I really want to do what you do. I want to share with people how they can really add purpose and meaning and joy to their lives. And she said, "Well, why don't you do that?" And, after considerable chatting and planning and whatever, because it's never that easy, right? I decided that's what I would do. I would become a coach. And I found a quote, and it was courage. The key phrase in there was "Courage Rises." And I thought, well, that's it. Because your courage does rise. You can learn courage. It's not something you're born with. You can learn it and it will rise and you will rise with it.
That's absolutely
I think
right.
that's totally powerful. So many authors, and you have already developed a system and studied, the courage and fear. And so many authors, they have that fear of getting started. And so this really sort of takes them down about the fear of writing. Will I fail? Will I succeed? And all of that. So how do you deal with it? I know, it sounds like you have dealt with that very well, but what are some things that maybe you can help some of our listeners, some of our clients get past that fear of even getting started on the journey of telling their story, or finding something, because their story could make a difference in someone's life, but they are blocked by fear.
Yeah. So Jesse, that's such a good question, because I wrote a book about fear and courage, and the whole time I had fear. It's not, you deal with it and it comes back, and then you deal with it and it comes back, hopefully a little less each time. But my coach actually suggested that I write the book to sort of hone my message. And my first feeling was, a book. I don't know who's going to want to read it, who's going to want to buy it. I don't know that I have anything profound to say. And she said, well, just start with a brain dump and just do it and see if you can take that brain dump about courage and about your experiences in life and just organize them on the page and see how that feels. So she had me take really small steps. And in fact, I put the outline together, and then each chapter, especially about my life experiences, was really hard to write because I had to go back and remember what that fear felt like. And some of them, like I had a major depressive episode when I was 26, and I have spent 40 some years trying not to go back there. And all of a sudden I'm being asked to go back there. And it was really hard to do. I tried to quit on myself about 5 times writing this book, even up to the very last day that I was writing it. But the biggest motivator for me, and it's one of the techniques that I talk about towards the back of the book, is remembering your motivators. So I've had, over the last 3 years, I've worked very hard on what I call my vision statement. My friend Bex calls it her manifesto. It's like, this is where I see myself. And the business is part of that. It's going to help me realize some of the goals that I have. By making money is just a tool, right? It's just exchange of energy, but that energy is going to help me have the energy for a beautiful home where I can invite my family and my friends to stay and have fun. I want to have great health so that I can play with my brand new grandchildren with ease and joy. It's things like that. And every time I tried to quit, I remembered my motivators, and I believed that if I didn't do this, I wouldn't do that. It was like, this was the step, and I really wanted that. So I had to go through this, so it is hard, and fear is going to come up. A very, very difficult one was that imposter syndrome. Like, who am I? Who am I to write a book? Famous people write books. I'm not famous. I'm not a genius. I'm just a person who knows a little bit about this subject.
Absolutely. I felt the same way. Here I was working with authors saying, be authentic, share your message out to the world. They'll relate to you. And then when I realized, oh my gosh, I need to tell my story. I have so much to give. All the years of personal development, my mindset change from my trauma, and then wrap it together. And it's like, I have to tell my story, but I went through the same things. So when you talk about 3 roots of fear in your book, you talk about limiting beliefs, stories, and delusions.
Yes.
Can you kind of cover a little bit there?
Sure. So limiting beliefs are they're little words that kind of pop into your head, like dumb, not worthy,
Not worthy.
right, not worthy, why me, little things that get in your way. And it's all of those things that came up when I first thought about writing the book. It limits what you're willing to take action on because it's very, very uncomfortable. Those feelings and working through those feelings are super uncomfortable, and your brain just wants to keep you safe and comfortable all the time. It's, from back when we were, when we were first becoming as humans, safety was a big deal. And anything unusual might be dangerous. And so those limiting beliefs are going to keep you from taking a step. It might be the first step. It might be the fourth step. It could be the 180th step. But, and then the stories are stories that you've heard people tell about you. Yep. When you're little, your mom and dad, or, some other family member or friends might say, oh, he or she's too slow for that. Oh, he or she will never.
The shy one.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh, she's the smart one. And,
exactly.
Or she's the artistic one, and then, so it could be stories you tell yourself based on your experiences, or stories that you hear from other people and you think, well, they must be right, because you're a little kid. What do you know? Nothing.
Accept them.
Right. And then delusions are especially dangerous because there's a kernel of truth in them. I'm almost 6 feet tall. And, one of the things that my dad kept trying to push me into when I was a kid was basketball. But, if somebody is short, they may get this delusion, like, I'm too short, I'm short, so I can't play basketball. Well, right. The I'm short is true, but the I can't play basketball may not be true at all.
Exactly.
There are plenty of NBA players who are, 5'10" or around there, average height. Yeah. So telling yourself those delusions really can also stop you in your tracks.
Absolutely. Jesse, you do a lot of mindset work. Why don't you share a little bit there?
Well, that's really key, especially if you're writing, or it doesn't matter about your sport. It's really about your belief systems and your goals. And when you hear those things, they can trigger you to fail, or they can trigger you to succeed. And I think when we're talking about goals, and I think that's really important, you're talking about your goals of the things you wanted to have and the things that can come from you making a forward step in your book. And everyone, remember, check out our book. Is actually on Amazon. And remember, Courage Rises, and she's with Elite Publication. But I have authors, wannabe authors, but they start, but they don't complete. And I try to keep them on their goals of why. Remember your why, because that is a key. And if you have limiting goals that you didn't set for yourself, then starting to write, you may not finish. You are an expert. So but you've been through things to get to that place. Right. Writing can be one of those levels that will move you from those places of hardship, limitations, because just like today, the excitement of releasing your book is greater than any fear that you may have felt, because you have now broke through to this next level. So now you're on your way to number 10 bestsellers because you did the first one. But if you don't try, you cannot succeed. Right. And you're correct. The limitations can be brought on by your childhood, what someone said about you. And if you decided to believe that, you stay stuck in that. But just like you were saying about playing basketball, it may not been in your heart. You may be tall enough, but you have the heart. And if you're going to be a writer, and you want to do, you start writing. Well, I'm not good at writing. That's a limiting belief.
It
You
is.
become good at anything that you desire that you actually want to do. And in going back into your book, just the idea and the concept. So where did you come up with that idea for your book, Courage Rises? But what was the goal behind it? I know the things that's bringing to you. What do you want this book to do for me? For your readers, what's the outcome goal you would like to see happen from your book?
So one of the things that I want is for people to read it and realize, like, I'm an ordinary person like them. I have challenges in my life that I need to overcome or I need to move through, and that some of the things that people take for granted about themselves or tell themselves, oh, I really had no choice, I didn't have to do that. Well, they actually did have a choice. I have a friend, Donna, who her husband died and left her with 2 young girls. And she told me I didn't have a choice but to get up every day and take care of them. And, she did. She did have a choice. She could have stayed in bed. She could have not cared for those girls like they were, precious gems, but just sort of done the bare minimum. And I want people to understand that sometimes just getting out of bed is a courageous act, depending on who you are and what your circumstances are. Jumping out of a plane might be a courageous act, or getting out of bed might be a courageous act. I want people to see real stories of real people who are working through the same things that they're doing. And I want to give them the gift of a few techniques to help them through it.
Yeah. Well, I want to jump in and congratulate you, because first of all, if you look at the statistics, 80% of people say, I want to write a book, and less than 2% go through, finish, and publish it. So good for you. That's a big
you.
And going through exactly the fear, I'm not worthy. Who wants to read my story? Will I make an impact on the world?
Right.
And I'll tell you what, when I released my book, I was also helping 8 other authors publish their book. So mine kind of was like in the background, like, it's done, yay, bestseller. Yeah, I'm happy. And then I've got to kind of move on. But I opened my email one day, and when I read a review that someone had wrote that said my book made them cry and think of legacy in a whole different way, I just sat back and I was like, done. Like, it doesn't matter
that
what
was it.
else.
Yeah.
That was enough.
Yes.
And I impacted one person to the point that they're changing what they do and how they think about legacy.
Well, and yes. So, and your book's going to be a resource for that person forever.
Exactly. Yeah. So that really gave me the courage to say, yes, I am making an impact and I want to do more.
Yes. So, and that, that's definitely was one of my goals too. It's just, I really want to help people.
So what was the hardest chapter for you to write?
So there were 2 really hard chapters. The first one I touched on before was the chapter about my depression. I really hadn't gone back to visit. I didn't want to. And so I sat on that one for a long time. I started it and then I ignored it for a couple of weeks. Hoping it would go away, and it didn't, and hoping that I would come up with something brilliant, and it didn't, so that I wouldn't have to go back there and remember what it felt like and what happened. So that was super hard. And then the one about my mom's Alzheimer's was really hard. She had a 20-year decline, and I was certain for a few years, 100% certain that it would be next. And every time I forgot a book, not a book, a word, or forgot my keys in the other room, that here it is. Here's the evidence, you know.
And then you worry, are you doing that self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yes.
There, absolutely.
Yes. Yes. What you resist persists, right? So I didn't want to bring it on.
No, exactly. That's fantastic. So Jesse, what, I know that we actually go ahead and chat a little more. I'm going to take a peek at where we are.
All right.
And I've got a few things to report, but hopefully I'll have a few more.
Okay.
Well, this is where it gets really good at what we do at Elite Publications is number one, Suki, I'd like to say again, thank you for choosing Elite Publication. Thank you for trusting Elite Publications. And we have actually been working together over the past, I guess, almost a month on some projects that really didn't deal with your book.
Right.
and I'm in North Carolina. You guys are West Coast. And right now, I used to say all my friends were down in Texas. I'm saying all my friends are on the West Coast. Natalie's on the West Coast. But being able to, the universe of bringing things together and bringing people together to connect, to create something amazing. And this is when of reaching out and making a decision over a short period of time to make this happen. And I know that you have your party that you're doing this afternoon. You're doing a live party. You're doing an online part. Man, I wish I was closer. I know Natalie's actually going to your party.
Yeah, she is.
I'm jealous now. I am jealous. I'm thinking about flying out to. Are you in Phoenix or where?
I'm in Phoenix. Yes, I'm in Phoenix.
I'm thinking. In fact, I've got a good friend out there. but see, it's too late for me to get a ticket now.
Oh well, it would cost you a heck of a lot. That's for
party.
Sure.
But this is what we're talking about, everyone. You see, we're having fun, but we've got a client here that we've been working with, and to make it happen, whatever it takes. Natalie is that whatever it takes type person. I'm that whatever it takes type person, because we want to see the outcome and the excellence of the outcome. Because Suki, when you win, we win. And it's very important that we create that. We are creating something that your family, your friends, and the world can celebrate with you. And there's a lot of pride that goes that you're one of those people that's actually making a difference in the world. And then people talk about making a difference, but what's your toolbox? What do you have in your toolbox to make a difference? And when you become an author, you can choose what is fiction, what is nonfiction, because all of it makes, it will make a person feel good about something to move them forward. I really focus on motivational books, Christian books, those things, because I feel that really helps to be able to make a difference in the world. And I know are you about ready to pull up something yet, Natalie?
Yeah, give me two seconds.
Okay. Well, I want to say while you're doing that, Jesse, I can't thank you and Natalie and the team enough. We really have been working this month, and you have taken so much worry off my shoulders. And I'm just amazed at the assets, the things that you've put together for me, ideas for posts and photos and, book covers. And I mean, it's some of this stuff during launch week is just copy paste, and right? I can't be more happy. And of course, you guys are delightful to work with.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure. And I am just having a hard time getting this to sit here. Okay, let's see if I can pull that up.
And so remember, if you're thinking about writing a book, remember, go to our website, which is elitepublications.com. schedule a time for us to set up an interview with you, whether you're thinking about writing, whether you're thinking about publishing, thinking about marketing, whatever area that you're looking and you need support, even if you've already published your book and you still need marketing support, ideas, reviews, then let us know. We are a full service publishing company and we are here to support you. So you've got Elite Publications and Gifts of Legacy. So this is what we're due. So do we need a drum roll?
Yeah. Well, this is our start.
There's a Woody Woodpecker there. I need to leave that.
Okay. Very early in
oh
the
my
day.
gosh.
So this is in the US. I try to screenshot as many and you'll get 1,000 screenshots.
Hot new release is number 1.
Yep, this is hot new release in dating, relationships, and spirituality.
Wow.
And behind here
Love
is
it.
retirement planning. And this was a fun category because you work with people in the retirement age group after. And so it was fun to get you in this category because I'm hoping too it's going to drive traffic to buy your book.
Yes, I call us the wisdom generation.
Right. And then let's see here. Sorry, I've got
journaling. Oh, I love it.
Yep. New release in, and there's the other one.
Breast cancer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then if I can get to my screen here, this is in Australia, as you can see. Oh my
gosh.
Flag here. So I will screenshot. What did I just do?
Currency, settings. There we go. Holy cow.
Hot new release in Australia. So as the day goes, we will be screenshotting these. We will be giving you the updates. You have right now in the US, let's see if I have it up. I have so many screens up right now. The last time I looked, you were number 3, and number 3 in the top categories.
Oh gosh.
So we really encourage everyone to go and get the book.
Yes.
We will post the link and you can look up Suki Jeffreys. Sorry. And
I'm excited about that Australia since I lived there for a couple of years. Hopefully all my homies down there are buying it.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. So we will post pictures as we go and we'll post the link. And I can't wait to see you tonight and celebrate.
Thank you, Natalie. I am so excited you're coming to the party.
I am too. And Jesse, you are welcome to fly in.
Yes.
Well, everyone, I will not fly in, but what I'd like for everyone to do is to go to Amazon and it's in the Kindle section and purchase, because there's probably something that you are going through or have been through and you're able to relate here just with the title, Courage Rises, that you can learn something from the book. So right now for this limited time, I guess is what, for the next 24 hours, Natalie, it's going to be available. And what you can do is to go and buy for $99. You're looking for Christmas gifts, right? You've got people that are going through different things. You can go to your Kindle and you can purchase this as a gift and you can start using this for your Christmas gifts. And people that celebrate Halloween, then you can give this as a gift. A book can change someone's life. Absolutely. I know I've been inspired by many authors, Chuck Norris and Les Brown, reading their books, gaining so much inspiration. And this is one of those books that I call it an empowerment book. So if you're looking to make a difference, I'm asking for all of my friends, my social media friends, and Natalie and everyone, share this with someone. This book, go and purchase it today. And remember, everyone has a story. You just have to get it out. So, Suki, any last words from you?
Just that I am so excited the day has finally come, and thank you again for all of the work that you and your team do. And thank you for having me on this podcast. It's been great. And woohoo! Thanks,
Exactly.
Natalie, for all of that encouragement. And I can't wait to celebrate tonight.
Absolutely.
Hey, Natalie, any last words from you?
I just, it's heartwarming, and to see, first of all, someone like Suki that thinks she's just a normal person now jumping into the #1 international bestseller space, not officially yet, but we are going to get her there today. So just support, take advantage of the 99-cent price, and do what Jesse said, gift it to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the way we make it. This is the way we make a difference in the world, by loving, forgiving, and supporting each other in moving forward. So everyone, remember, if you have a book you're thinking about becoming an author, you don't know where to get started, hey, remember, go to our website, fill out the form, make an appointment, or hey, you can just give me a call or text me, and that's Jesse Bowen, 919-618-8075. And we're that type of company. We're going to answer the telephone, and we're going to reach back out to you. Everyone, be blessed. Remember, go get a copy of the book today. All right, everyone, we're out of here. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Suki.